So, Saturday. Had a very peaceful night last night, as you might expect. Just the sound of the calls of the wilds, really, the birds and the insects. Didn't really hear them in the van. These lights were on all night. The campsite was all illuminated like that. There's hardly anybody comes through here during the day. Never mind at night. So it was good. Right, I'm away to see a bit more of this park. I'm just going to stay here today and stay another night. So yeah, I've done some washing, got my washing hung up. Yeah, just kind of got settled in, just doing stuff, tidying up. Anyway, I'll go for my walk now and see what interesting things we'll see on the way. So I went over this trail last night. I joined it thinking this was going to go on for not miles, but yeah, I'd be in it for a good 10, 15, 20 minutes, but it's like a couple of minutes and then you come to the main part of the park. That's where a lot of the cars come down as well. I think I said it's more like a public park through here than a national park. And I mean, you're relatively remote. You've got to walk right in, but it's like a few things I've done. Big long drive in, but they're still reasonably developed. Anyway, more waffling again. The cross we saw yesterday and the monument to the soldiers in the background. I was reading online, some of this is to do with a general that fought and died for Paraguay back in the day. It could have been during the war of the Triple Alliance when they went to war against Uruguay, Brazil and Argentina. And I think it's on this spot where he was killed where the battle happened. If I remember, because this is a historic site. They wouldn't have erected a big cross like that, I don't think, unless it was pretty relevant, especially way out here in the back of beyond the road in to that cross and the historical site. It's clearing. Opening up a wee bit here. It's a lovely walk. It's a lovely place, this. I'm glad I came. Didn't expect to. I wasn't sure if I'd even want to spend a whole day here, especially when it's just me in the van on the campsite and there's hardly anybody else around. There's odd folk coming and going, like there was a car back there. But yeah, I think one more night. Plus I'm running out of food anyway, so I'll have to go tomorrow. But I think I would go tomorrow anyway, regardless. Yeah, so we're getting up. This is the first stop. This part's clearly a big deal. I'm going to find out more. From what I can gather, there was a famous general died in battle here, and it was a famous battle for the freedom of Paraguay. So this is kind of why he's revered so much and why there's so much built here. It's an important place for the Paraguayans. It's just a remote park where you could see nature. And not much else to be, hiking trails and yeah, a big deal here, a big flag. Right, as well as getting eaten alive here, I'm getting to the bottom of what this is all about. This plaque is a tribute from His Excellency the President of the Republic and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the nation, Santiago Peña Palacios. So he is or was in charge of Paraguay at the time. So he's making sure his name's the bigger one, but I'm sure there's no ego there. To the greatest hero of our nation, Marshal Francisco Solano Lopez, and to the heroic combatants of the Battle of Cerro Cora on its 156th anniversary on March the 1st, 2026. So these are all plaques, but they're all in honour of Marshal Lopez. I thought there might have been plaques to individual soldiers that died at the time. Some of it is general to the heroes of the war, but generally they're presented. That's presented by the Argentinian embassy, so they present plaques. This one's from Brazil. Yeah, in memory of Francisco Lopez, and there's more here. So they're still being put up every so often. Somebody obviously sticks those up. That's the latest one, 2025. So yeah, big deal for the Paraguayans. To find out what this is, I think it's an exercise ground for the military. Certainly a parade ground. So they'll meet here in front of the monument with the flag at their back and line up, and then the dignitaries, I'd imagine, stand up here and address the crowds by the looks of things. Maybe that's what the plaques are, because every time they have a parade here, possibly every year, somebody will present a plaque as a mark of respect. So yeah, addressing a typo. That was the name of the dam on near the border with Brazil and Argentina that I visited just after I crossed into Paraguay. So it looks like a relevance to that. I don't think it's the indigenous people, because the indigenous people here are the Guarani. So here's the parade ground from the other side in the monument. This is the memorial for Colonel Juan Francisco Solano Lopez. Not entirely sure if he's buried here, but we certainly got a memorial here. And he died at the Battle of Cerro Cora, 1st of March 1870. So yeah, that's going back to what we said earlier on. That was the 156 year anniversary in 2026, so that was just this year. Another trail that's like 3.5 hours. Don't know if you can see that sign there, from basically 3.5 hours from here. So it'd be a 4-hour round trip. If I'd have known that, I may have done it this morning. I may have made an effort and got out and done it this morning. But there's this distinct lack of information about what's available to do here. But certainly this is quirky. This is certainly different. All these busts of famous Paraguayan figures. And Agustin Cerrato. The man himself, Colonel Juan Francisco Solano Lopez. This is the person that the park's in honour of. Now, it's quite weird because there's a selection of these heads at the side of the path on the way down and back. So there's nothing special about the position he's in, which is quite weird considering the park is about him. Where's that? A stick insect. Never seen a stick insect in the wild. I told you there was a couple of bats flying about the toilets last night. I went to the toilets that did have water. There's toilets outside my camper van. I think I showed you them. They're just disgusting, but there's no water or electricity, so they're kind of just begun to get dirty. But further round, near the park area, those monuments, there's working toilets. There was a couple of bats roosting in the eaves and flying about when I was moving about. Didn't bother me. Didn't come near me. Too busy trying to look after themselves. Well, this is the site of the last confrontation between. They've got Marshal Lopez here. He may have been decorated as a colonel. Once he was after the battle, I guess this is where he died. Two roads there. Don't know what one to take, so I thought I'll follow this one. This one's shaded, and looks nice. So let's do this. So, yeah, I'm guessing this is where he... Ah, right, okay, down here might have been where he met his end. Now, I wonder if this was where it happened. Look at the butterfly. Sign. Apparently it was here Colonel Lopez was fatally wounded. He came here and he fell from his horse into the creek. They came and the folk that were with him rescued him. I think he was trapped under the water, but they got him out because he was essentially dying. They knew he was dying. I think he wanted to go as well, so somebody shot him just to put him out of his misery. But at least it was a quick death after that, because he was dying a slow death up until then. So that's how Colonel Lopez met his end. The zone of the wild pineapples. I've seen wild pineapples before, but I guess although they've taken the tops off here, they look like the tops of pineapples. Well, I've been on this for a wee while. I don't think there's much more left, but it's quite pleasant. I'd like to stop and just take in the signs and see if I can see anything. But if you stand still too long, you just get swarmed, you get buzzed. Mosquitoes, flies, they all come for a sniff. So I need to keep moving. So I'm moving about in there. I'm not going to see it now, but it was quite fast, so I'm guessing it was a lizard or something. The place was teeming with stick insects. This is the area with the ranger station and the museum. There's some houses here. I don't know if that's like employees that live in it or like it's leisure where you can come in, come and rent it and live in nature for a wee while or something. It's hard to tell. Maybe there'll be a sign on the other side of this entrance. Doesn't say anything. Right, there was that cafe bar on Google. I didn't think it existed, it seemed very unlikely. Yeah, somebody's put it up as a wind up, so that's fine. I'll go and pay for another night and then I'll head back to the camper van, because what time is it? It's only 1:30. So I might go back the way I came. I've got loads of time and I'm not going down that road because it's completely open. Entrance to the ranger station was, I've got a choice. You could go down this road. Nah, it's not going to happen. Spoiler alert, it's not going to happen. Not in this heat, in the baking sunlight. Or I can go back the way I came through the forest trail. I must have come the other way, but yeah. It says it's 45 minutes. It may well have been longer. I was stopping it, so it took me a lot longer. So that'll pretty much take me back to the campsite. Ah yes, it's far more comfortable in the shade. We see some more wildlife this way. Hear things crawling about. I don't know what they are. Flies down there. That must be the mountain you can climb on the other trail. It's the entrance to it there, but like I said earlier, it's 3.5 hours there and 3.5 hours back. I don't even know if I started in the morning or whether I would do that or not. Like 7 hour round trip. Maybe that's a further slow. Maybe we'd do it quicker than that. But yeah, anyway, we're back at the parade ground. It's hardly a breath of wind. It's quite hot in the sun. It's been such an interesting walk, this. That must... Oh god, there's the car park. That's the one I saw on the way in. So it's a really big car park. So they must have really big gatherings here, big in the size of the parade ground. This is obviously a big deal when it's time to mark the occasion. I've noticed that big cactus. It's huge. I Didn't expect to see that here. A cactus that size. You see that in films and stuff, but yeah, best cactus I've ever seen. Driving away there, realised I'd not really done my morning diary. So yeah, so I'm away to head to Brazil now. Going to go to the border town, get some shopping. We use the last of my Paraguayan currency to get that used up, and then get some fuel, get some food, and then we'll cross the border. I've already found the campsite. It's not where I'm going to go because I did all my usual checks before I switched off my Starlink earlier and found that the border I was going to cross it doesn't have a border post for some strange reason. So I need all my documents stamped in and out. So the next one's actually closer, but it's not closer to where I want to get to. The one I was going to go to was taking me right into the Pantanal, but this one's taking me further east, so I'll have to go around. But well, it is what it is. And it's not that far. I should be able to get to where I want to go tomorrow. I'll see how long this one takes. I might just push on, but it was giving me over four hours, and that's not taking into account how long I'll spend at the border, so I can't see me going up to my original stop. So I've got a place lined up, and I shall head there now and speak to you soon. Coming out the access road for the camp. I don't know if you can see it, but I showed you it on the way in anyway. Yeah, so here's the big car park. I don't know if I caught it, and of course there's the big flag in the distance where it was yesterday.